you want to be trendy and do a bodybuilding competition? Well, here's why that might not be the best idea. So when you're thinking about starting on your bodybuilding journey, there are a lot of important things to consider. So one of those things to consider is where you're at right now. So you shouldn't be doing a bodybuilding competition because you want to get fit, or you want to look hot in a swimsuit, or you want to look good naked, or like whatever. I've heard honestly every single reason for why somebody might want to do that. And that's not to discourage doing more fitness like things to achieve that look, but I am of such the belief that if you start by hating your body, you're never going to grow out of that. You're never going to learn to love your body. It doesn't matter if you have a six-pack of abs or if you got a six-pack of flab. It doesn't matter. So the most important thing when you're thinking about, starting your bodybuilding career and starting your bodybuilding journey is to really think about all the important reasons of why you're doing it. When you're in prep and you're really hungry, and I really can't even describe it. If you know, you know. But if you're in prep and you're really hungry and you're doing cardio for like the 4th time in the day, depending on your coach. Anyway, if you don't have a solid reason for why you're doing it, you're not going to. You're gonna say, you know what, I'm really hungry, I'm really fucking tired, forget this stuff, like I'm over it. And so basically what you need to do is you need to think about, what are you doing it for? What do you hope to achieve? What do you hope to walk away from this whole experience with? So I know for me personally, I actually started with a really bad reason. I started bodybuilding because I was going through a breakup and I was like, I want a really hot revenge body and I want to do something for me. So that second reason that I did it, doing it for me, that was the thing that made me fall in love with bodybuilding. As I started going more and more through my bodybuilding journey and learning more and teaching more and kind of understanding more about what this whole process was about, I fell in love with it because I started to fall in love more with myself and figure out, what I can do, how I can push myself, what I can achieve. So really establish that why. And that's part of thinking about, where you are right now. The second thing is where your physique is at that moment. If you've got a lot of weight to lose and you're thinking that, a bodybuilding competition is the way to do it, it's not, let me tell you. So bodybuilding is a journey. It takes years and years and years for most people. We all know those select genetic freaks that can step on stage in 12 weeks and look great. That's awesome, but I'm not talking to them right now. I'm talking to everybody else who falls below that and who needs to take years and years and years to develop that physique to look even remotely competitive on stage. It's called bodybuilding for a reason. Most people don't have a muscular foundation to begin with, and so you need to build that and then you cut down. Your whole muscle, your whole physique is not built in the prep stage. Your whole muscle and building of your physique is built in that off season. So you need to really assess where you are right now and take that into consideration. So then once you've kind of figured out where you are and what's your why, you need to do your research and find a good coach. So what I mean by a good coach is I'm not talking about somebody with, a billion Instagram followers or somebody who, puts a bunch of people on stage. You need to actually really find somebody that works for you. And so what I mean by that is you need to interview people, ask people questions. Don't be afraid to push the envelope a little bit and maybe ask some questions that make you a little uncomfortable or that you don't know a lot about. Ask them more about their process, ask them about their athletes, their whole relationship with their team, everything like that, because that's really important. You see all too often in this industry so many coaches that will put somebody on stage for one show and you never see them again. And it's because they don't have any longevity in their coaching. They don't care about the health behind the athlete. They care about what the end look is. And that's not what you want in this sport. This sport is a marathon. It is not a sprint. So once you assess where you are, and then physically and mentally, you establish your why, and then you go coach shopping, the next step is to really assess your timeline. So that should be something that you pick with your coach. So you shouldn't walk into this whole bodybuilding journey saying, hey, I want to do a show in 16 weeks, and that's the only show I'm gonna do. Hire a good coach, like I said, find somebody who knows the industry and ask them what they think. If they think you need a building season, a growing season, pay attention to that. Listen to those people because they've been through it. They've done competitions or they've been in this industry, and so they understand what the judges are looking for and they understand how to look at your physique in a much different way than what you've looked at your physique in. So the next thing is that you need to budget. Bodybuilding is not a budget-friendly sport. You do not make any money at bodybuilding coming from a pro. I have made $0 bodybuilding. So don't go in it with the idea that you're going to get huge and rich and famous and you're going to win Mr. Olympia. Go in it with the idea that you are going to need to save money to even start, think about starting this process. So you need to hire a good coach, and good coaches typically cost a good amount of money per month. So you need to stop thinking about, getting the budget-friendly coaches, because you're going to get budget-friendly plans then and budget-friendly knowledge, and that's not what you want. So you need to start saving money ahead of time. So once you've got all of those things set, the next thing, and this one seems like it's maybe not as important, but it's just as important, you need to make sure that you have a really good support system. So this is hard. Prep is hard. Bodybuilding is hard, and it will try you. It will try your relationships. It will try all of the things in your life. And that's part of what makes it so addicting, is that when you stand on stage, you've conquered it all. You're standing on the top of a mountain. But we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. What you need to do is you really need to make sure that you talk to all the people in your life that are important to you, and you need to explain a little bit about what this will entail, what kind of support you need. For me, I don't have an issue being around other food. It doesn't tempt me, but if you're somebody that does, talk to your family. Be like, hey, I would really love to start going to family dinners again, but maybe can I bring my food, or don't offer me things, please? It just makes it that much more difficult. So that's really important too. So once you've assessed where you are mentally and physically, you have established your why, you've interviewed coaches and hired a good coach, you've talked about your timeline, you've budgeted, and then finally you've informed everybody in your circle, then you're ready to start thinking about doing a bodybuilding competition. So make sure you check all of those boxes, take your time, and if you have any questions in the meantime, go ahead and ask me. You can find me at Michaela Musner _IFBB Pro on Instagram. I'll drop that below. Go ahead and shoot me a DM, shoot me an email, and then I respond within 24 hours, so we will make sure that you are taken care of.